My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of people too. People who smile at you, and each time I roam, Chicago is calling me home. Chicago is why I just grin like a clown. It's my kind of town. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Howdy, hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, a sweet home, Chicago? Well, what I want is 2, 6 and 2 is 8. Come on, baby, don't you make me laugh. Hey, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place?
They were not
Signature wins the Snow Club Nationals, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Oh, come on, baby, don't you wanna go back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago?
45s win this first game 1-0.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You can talk the guy, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you gon' find yourself
Standing in the Hall of Fame,
yeah.
and the world's gonna know your name. Cause you're born with the best fame, and the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You can be the hero, you can get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. Are you ever gonna know if you never even try?
Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. Cause you're born with the best flame, and the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion, be a champion, be a champion, be a champion. The walls of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. Cause you're born with the best flame, and the world's
gentlemen, welcome to the 21st annual 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame Banquet. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our MC for tonight's ceremony. Please give a warm welcome to the man himself, George Bliss. Come on, guys, Come on, guys, give George Bliss one more round of applause.
Welcome, everybody. How's everybody tonight? I'm videotaping you and me. Turn that stupid thing off, George. Well, welcome to the 21st annual 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame Banquet. This is going to be the best one ever because there's so many good-looking people out here tonight. That's right. You know, did the Cubs win it this year? Yeah? Okay, let's give it. All right. Let's start the show and bring up the man, our great president. He's won 12 national championships. He's the king man in Hodgkins. He's our favorite employee of the year. We love him. Bring him up. Let's get a big round of applause for Mr. Ron Kubicki. Ronnie, President Ron.
Welcome, everybody. I can't see you, but I know you're out there. I got a few things we want to talk about and go over what the Hall of Fame has done this year, kind of things that we are accomplished and what we're planning on for the future. I'd like to welcome all the new inductees this year. I think it's one of the best classes that we've had in a long, long time. I know 4 of them personally because I had the privilege and the pleasure of coaching them, some of the greatest ball players I've ever seen in my life. I'd like to take this time, too, to thank the board of directors. Again, I can't see out there, so if you could stand up. Ray Tops, Mark Faghetto, Stan Paddock, Al Mag, Art Lurie, Floyd Glover, Jeff Berger, J.D. Doss, Paul Rowan, Fitz Zimmerman, Mike Coleman, Bill Cavanaugh, Frank Lantine, Mary Pat McGuire, Sherman Martin, George Vanulius, Curtis Granderson Jr., Chris Downs, and our new member, Austin Ware. A dinner like this doesn't get put together very easy, and we need a lot of help. And we have one of the best, and Rachel Antler, she's our executive director. Rachel's here. She probably saw at the front desk coming in. Rachel, thank you for everything you've done for us. I want to thank George Bliss for being our MC, and George and Gio helping out the museum all the time, always being there on a Saturday. They're 2 great guys. I want to thank Zach Mag. He does all the production for us, all the videos you see. Zach puts all together. Zach, great job. He flies in for Arizona to do this for us. Bill Waddington, those great books you see in front of you, Bill does all the bios for us. So again, thank you, and also to all the volunteers we have out here tonight. If I could take 1 minute and just bow your heads for a minute. We've lost some great softball players. Their names are in the back of the book. They're playing in a better place right now up in heaven. They got their own diamond all set, and we're going to miss them a lot. So if we can take just 1 moment of silence, please, to remember them. Thank you. Also this year, the Hall of Fame worked very hard for the past 3 years. For those of you that don't know, we're the Hall of Fame for 16-inch. There's a Hall of Fame in Oklahoma City, the ASA National Hall of Fame. We've had 1 member that was inducted about 15 years ago, Eddie Zolna, who deservedly so, and it took us this long to get our 2nd member to go in. So in October, we're going to induct Willie Simpson as our second 6-inch player and in the National Hall of Fame. So we want to congratulate Willie Simpson, one of the best of all time. I'd like to remind everybody too, on Saturday, July 22nd, at Forest Park is our inductees day. So everybody that's getting inducted today, that's when your plaques will go up in the inductee park. Also, it's a day of festivities. We have games. We start the Forest Park tournament. So it's a great day. Come on out. So mark it on your calendars. Our golf tournament is on September 15th this year. Ruffle feathers again. In the back of your books, if you think you know somebody that belongs in the Hall of Fame or would like to be considered, everything is spelled out now. It's all in the back of the book, all the criteria, all the applications. We even added a new category this year, so make sure you look at that. We're always looking for new members for the board, always, and all new members for committees, because we have so many different things going on at all the time, so we can use as many members as we can get. Any kind of volunteers, if you'd like to help out the Hall of Fame, please give us a call, and we'll be happy to oblige you, because we can use all the help. I said I'm trying to get through this pretty quick. Some of the new programs we started this year. The junior highs in our area play 14-inch softball. They're all 7th and 8th graders. We started a program this year of inviting them out to the Hall of Fame, walking them through the museum, and then having a small training. It's worked out great. You'll see some of the pictures up here. It was a great thing, and we're going to continue to do that this year, trying to get the youth more involved in our game to keep it alive. We continued the DePaul program. DePaul University every year invites us out to give a clinic. And we used to go to the university, Frank and I and some of the members. Now we bring them to the museum. These are kids that don't come from Chicago. They don't know what softball is. They don't know what 16-inch softball is. So we kind of introduce them to it in the museum. By the time we get done, they don't even want to go home. They love playing the game. So it's good for us. We had our first wedding this year at the Hall of Fame. I don't know why, but somebody got married there. I know if I'd have told my wife that, I don't think we'd be married. Also, we had a special program that George Bliss had a big part of with the Chicago Police Department on the South Side, who these kids are looking for things to do, trying to keep them out of trouble. So George went out there with Ray Tops and a couple other members and offered a program for them to teach them the game of 16-inch softball, and that really came out great. I want to mention a few things too. Some of the great tournaments that we had this year. We just got done one in Phoenix that Al Mag puts on. He puts on 2 of them. One was at the beginning of March, one's at the first week of April, which is a corporate tournament. The Las Vegas tournament, Ronnie Matriciano, great tournament. I think he gets 7 or 8 states to come to it. Great job, Ronnie. Yuma, Arizona's got one coming up. So the game is still spreading. We were out in Phoenix this year. We had teams from California. We have from Nevada, New Mexico. We had teams from Pennsylvania. So the game is, most of us think it's dying, but it's not. It's actually growing. People out there still love it. Before we get to the 50-50, I have a special award I want to give out tonight. Pat McGuire, can you come up here, please? For those of you that don't know Pat, she's my buddy. Pat is the first woman ever inducted into the Softball Hall of Fame in the very first class. Show them your fingers, Pat. Yeah, they're still good. Well, Pat's retiring from the board this year, and 25 years on the board, but I mean, you're retiring this year. And she has done a great job for us. All the stuff out there, her and Paul put together for us. So we have a little plaque for you, Pat. We want you to know that we really appreciate everything you've done, and you are going to be missed. But she's still going to be called upon because I'm putting her on advisory committee, so she's still going to be around, but just not on the board.
Thanks.
Oh, I put it on here. So Pat, on behalf of the board, we just want to honor you and recognize you for everything you've done for the board, and
Thanks, Ron.
thank you so much, and we're going to miss you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And now she gets to tell you about the 50-50 raffle and stuff.
Okay. Thank you. Very unexpected and unnecessary, but I appreciate it. It's been a long time, and time for some other people to step forward. It's been me and 18 men for 25 years. We need some women to come on out and help, especially with the clinics that they talked about It's all boys. We need to get the girls involved. Title IX was great, but it killed 16-inch softball. Our 50-50 and the table raffle we're going to do real soon. Last call on the table raffle. If anyone has not done it, send your envelopes to the table. Please buy the T-shirts. Please buy them. We need to sell them all. This is a fundraiser. The Hall of Fame is awesome. Any of you that played softball, you know it's awesome. And we gotta. If you haven't been to the museum, you should go. We're all volunteers, and it's only open for the volunteers to be there at times. But you can go if you make an appointment. We'll make it open for you. So please go to the museum, make an appointment, see it. It's awesome, and we need to pay it off. So if everybody you know, pass the word. If everybody paid $25 a year, it would help with the bills. So go fund me, right? Okay. And all right, so we'll be doing it after a couple of things. We'll be doing table raffle and then the split the pot 50-50. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ron.
Thanks, everyone. We're going to turn it back over to George.
Okay, thanks, everybody. And Mary Pat, we love you. The finest, best, and I checked this out, the #1 softball player ever in 16-inch female. It's just incredible. Mary Pat. Folks, before we start the official ceremony tonight, I would like to ask about a little attention here and stand. We're going to now play the national anthem to honor America. Thank you to my crew there, incredible crew, Jason Zenner, Mike Lord, James Opekin, Zach Mag, and on camera, Lynn Van Eaton. So let's give them a big hand for the incredible job they do. Okay, let's start the evening, and if you folks want to take some photos of your friends and everything, you know, jump on up here and get a picture. We have plenty of time to do it. Let's start with the Pioneers. Our first inductee in the Pioneer era grew up in the Summit, Argo area. He played softball for the Trojans before serving in the Army, so the anthem was obviously appropriate. He then played shortstop for the Vets and Bombers for 19 years. He helped start a community picnic in Summit that is still going today after 42 years. He is with our good friend Spider Ware tonight. Let's honor Mr. Michael Iron Mike Kirksey. Take your time. Austin, come on up.
Good evening. I see softball is still alive and well. I haven't played since '72, and I know the game has started to fade out. But now I see it's still alive and well. I dedicated my life to playing that game. It kept me grounded and kept me out of trouble. Met a lot of good people. My high school football coach was a member of this Hall of Fame, Mr. John Galvin. He played before the biggest crowd ever played by a high school team at Soldiers Field. It was Austin High School against Leo, and he was my high school football coach. I played with several guys that played at all as Hall of Famers here. Bill Fessler from the Bobcats. I played with him. He worked where I worked for a while. Dan Dumas, probably one of the better softball players in the Chicago area. He worked where I worked for a while. I played with him. That was a tough out. He was a tough man, as was Bill Fensel. But that was a game I loved. It kept me grounded. I loved the game. I missed it for 2 years while I was in the Army. I played 12-inch softball. I was the catcher. That was just a junior baseball game. I thought I was a pretty good ball player until I ran into some guys pitching that 12-inch softball. But 16 inch has always been a love of mine. I played the game at every position. I'd always played a lot of position because if in case somebody had a game going and needed somebody to play, I'd be around to fill in. I had retired in 1972. I had retired, I had quit. But they came back, they asked me to play with them at Grant Park. In the citywide championship, we won it. I had played down there several times before that. We took a second place, we took a third place. But my last year down there, we took first place. And we also won the championship at Marquette Park. So we had a terrific year. We took first place at Marquette Park that year. We took first place at Avalon Park. So I went out with a big bang. It was my last year. I was about 44 years old. So that was the last time I played in the softball. We started having a game in our neighborhood for the old timers. I played in that for a while, but then the game seemed to fade out. With the basketball era come around, everybody be like Mike. Nobody seemed to want to play softball anymore. So we got a picnic going there we've been doing for 42 years we have for the neighborhood. We raise funds, sell T-shirts, give games for the kids. We've been doing it for 42 years. This is our 43rd year coming up. We're going to have it again this year.
Iron Mike Kirksey, one more time. Our next inductee, very, very special person. Lots of tables right here. I'm going to mention them a little bit later. But our next pioneer started playing shortstop with the Jokers in 1958 at Kells Park. And Jimmy, you know about Kells Park, right? And in tournaments at all the other parks. In 1963, he joined the Rogues at Kells Park. He also played at Clarendon and all over the city. In 1966, he went for 3 for 3 and drove in 2 runs to help the Rogues defeat the Bobcats to win the Andy Fain tournament. He has many special friends here tonight. One of them is our good friend George Randazzo from the Italian American Hall of Fame. Thank you, George, for coming. Let's bring him up, Dennis Colucci.
Well, thank you all. Appreciate it. I can honestly say it's a great honor being selected as an inductee into the 2017 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame. I'm amongst some great ball players, fierce competitors, and talented players that ever played the game. What I really believe, though, that being said, I would like to dedicate tonight's trophy or acceptance into the Hall of Fame to the thousands of players, umpires, park directors, fans, and countless others. Without them, this evening would never take place. So, I'll accept the award on their behalf, and thank you, everybody.
Dennis Colucci, folks, Dennis Colucci. Dennis, an honor to meet you recently, and we hope to see you every Saturday at the Hall of Fame. Okay, let's move it to the veterans group. Our first inductee in the veterans category was recruited by Sal Oliver. Where are you, Sal? Hall of Famer. He played first base for the Stompers. With the Stompers, he played in 6 ASA Nationals, 3 U-Trip Nationals. The 1985 Stompers won the U-Triple-SA Nationals, and he was named to the All-Tournament team. During his 18 years of major softball, he played with some of the great ones, the legendary players. He came in from out of town. Let's bring him up, Ricky Roston. Rick Roston. There you go, Rick.
Thank you. You guys probably remember me. I was a lot heavier and I had no hair at one time. But I need my glasses. So I started watching softball as a young kid because my mother made my brother drag me out to watch them play at Chicago and Kedzie. And that's where the first time I got a chance to watch the original Stompers play, which was my brother, Bobby Grippo, Roger Siska, the Donofrio brothers, Ricky and Joey, Mike Tomasetti, and of course, Missy Maselli. So from there, I started playing like a lot of you guys did in grade school. Not too proud of the names of the teams. If I remember right, it was the Sons of Italy in 3/4 Fried. So from there, I played with the 6-pack. We played out in Melrose, La Follette, Amundsen Park, Portage Park. And I just want to recognize some of the guys on that team, which was Larry Cincione, Joey Campobasso, Bertie, Steve Agan, Danny Frasco, Terry Martin, Joe Biggs, and a few others. So like we said here, at 17, playing with the 6-pack, Sal approached and said, hey, you want to come and play with us? And so myself and John Zalecki started playing with the Stompers and got the chance to play at Clarendon, Kelly, and Blue Island, and Harvey. And for those that got a chance to play at Clarendon back in the day, it was always fun playing first base in May when they would shoot the ball up with either milk or water and stick it in the refrigerator and whip that ball around. So that was a lot of fun. So I just want to, again, I want to recognize some of the guys I played with on the Stompers. I need to look at my list there so I don't forget any names. But Mike Oliver, Ollie, Mike Romanelli, Mike Kralicki, Chicky, Greg Nosek, John Z, Jeff Hornacek, Paulie Sikowski, Mike Tallow, Gary Mariano, Joe Moms, Frank Lentine, Frank Lamas, Ralphie Masucci, Jimmy Fugi, Tommy Kelleher, Roy Cotterman, Cam, and Pat as well. So one of the things, before I have to thank my family so I don't forget about that, but we're probably, I think we're the only team that had a second baseman that made it to 2 NBA finals, and maybe unfortunately now he's the coach of the New York Knicks. So lastly, I want to thank my brother Steve and Sal for getting me in the game. I have to thank my beautiful wife Peggy for putting up with me playing softball during the weekdays, tournaments on the weekends, and then playing with the Lincolnwood Charger on the weekends with my buddy Cam. And then, of course, my 3 daughters, Amanda, Kate, and Lindsay, their better halves, AJ, Kurt, and Alex, and my grandson, Hudson. Thank you.
Mr. Ralston, thank you. He came all the way from Seattle, Washington. Seattle. Our next inductee is a 3-time ASA All-American, and he has played on 3 ASA National Championship teams, 2 U-Trip ASA World Championship teams. He was MVP of the 1991 Suburban Life Tournament, and also was a member of the licorice team that won 2 national tournaments, and they won the Triple Crown one year. He had the power to change the score and the outcome of the game. Before I introduce my very best friend, I want to say hi to his son, Sonny, who came in from Missouri. Hello. Stand up, my good friend, Sonny Matriciano. And his beautiful wife, Dottie. Now listen to this, Dottie just retired last week from the States, so Ronnie and her are both retired, and they're going to be moving and living in Las Vegas. But I'll be out there, Ron. I'll be there. I was at his house 2 weeks ago, the greatest food you've ever had in your life. Awesome. Let's bring him up, Ron Matriciano.
George, I want to thank you for that flattering introduction. And my sincere thanks to Al Mag and Ron Kubicki and all of the Hall of Fame board members. I want to thank everybody that's involved in putting this evening together. But I especially want to thank Rachel Entler for her help with the tickets and the seating. I know that I drove her crazy, and I'm sure that there's a lot of you out here that did as well. There's so many people to thank when you're up here on stage as I am tonight, and it's impossible to thank them all. But there's a few people that I would like to single out. I want to thank Franklin Teen. I want to thank George Bliss. I want to thank George Vernazos, because I know you 3 guys were my biggest supporters to be inducted into the Hall. I also want to thank the man who's responsible for nominating me for induction into the Hall. A man that I've known for over 40 years. I'm proud to call him my friend and my battery mate. He's a Hall of Famer himself, Patty Caputo. Patty, I'll be forever grateful for everything you've done for me on and off the field. I want to thank you for being a great teammate, and I want to thank you for being my dear friend. I need to thank all the sponsors on all the teams that I've played for over the years. And of course, I want to thank the players that I played with. Thank you for making me look so good for all those years. This award is as much yours as it is mine. I want to congratulate all of the Hall of Fame inductees tonight. I'm deeply humbled and honored to be on the same stage with great players such as Randy Russ, Jeff Berger, Ricky Gainkars, Keith Filkins, Dennis Colucci, and Mike Cam. I want to also thank all of the past Hall of Fame inductees, players that came before me, people that served as an example, and they made me want to be the best that I could be. I want to acknowledge all the players that unfortunately are no longer with us. We all have friends that have passed on in this game. I played with guys like Terry Moran, Egg Zarnik, Bobby Ringelstein, Benny Holt, Johnny Eckert, Mark Gershak, and fans that we had like Doc and Cy, and all the people that came to watch us every night. I'll never forget them, and I know you won't either. They'll always be in our hearts. I want to take a few minutes to thank some of the great coaches I played for in softball. Jimmy Donato of the Lords, Jimmy Lang Jr. of the Whips, Al Mag of Molex, Jimmy Spadali of the Stooges, Dick Cooper from Meadows, Egg Zarnik, and Bobby Russ Sr. from Licorice. Yeah. I want to thank the legendary coach at Triton College, Bob Simmons. He by far was my greatest coach and mentor. He was the reason that I was able to play baseball at the professional level with the San Francisco Giants. Coach Simmons took boys and he made them men, and he took men and he made them champions. And I'll be forever grateful for everything that he did for me. I want to thank my stepdaughter, Brandy, who I love as my own. Thank you for accepting me and allowing me to be part of your life. To my beautiful wife, Dottie, you've been by my side through it all, the good and the bad. You've been there for me, and I thank you, and I love you. To my son, Michael Santino, who makes me proud every day. Of all the awards and all the accomplishments I've had in my life, you have been my greatest reward and my greatest gift. In closing, for those of you that know me, baseball and 16 and softball have always been my passion. They've always been a huge part of my life. There's a lot of things that catch your eye in your life, but there's very few things that capture your heart, as this game has done for me. My mother and father and brother never missed a game that I played in. And I know they're up above now watching, and I hope they're proud. I lost them at a very young age, but God blessed me with loving aunts and uncles and cousins that were there to guide me. But the big guy went one step further. He sent me some of the greatest friends that a guy could ever want. Loyal friends, stand-up guys. You've become my family. I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your friendship. And I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, because your friendship means more to me than you'll ever know. I love you guys. Again, I want to thank everyone for this award. I appreciate it. I'll cherish it forever. God bless you all. Thank you. And that's that.
Ronnie Matriciano, Viva Las Vegas! All right, Ronnie mentioned some people, but there's so many people here. And throughout the evening, I'm going to just say hi to some of the special guests we have here. We have Michael Spadal and Jimmy Spadal. Jimmy Spadal, a past Hall of Fame winner. Michael from the White Sox. Michael, we need some wins this year. The great Charlie Prosapio is here tonight. George Seifert, Jimmy LaCurtis, Tony Francos. The whole table is here, all softball and baseball players. We have a great support tonight, and more is yet to come. Our final veteran inductee started playing softball when she was 9 years old. Wow, 9 years old. She played in Blue Island. She won all the ponytail leagues. When she was 15, she helped the gang defeat the legendary Angels. That was a big-time women's team. After college, she played for Good and Plenty and then the Desperados. In 1989, she was named Defensive Player of the Year of the USSSA State Tournament. We love her. You got to have her. Bring her up. Lisa Lovato. Lisa.
Okay. All right. I'd like to start by saying that it is an honor to stand here before all of you. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame Committee and the Board of Directors for accepting my application and selecting me to be placed on the Hall of Fame ballot. And also a special thanks to Pat McGuire, my former friend, teammate, my friend and former teammate. I think you're still my friend. She's gonna be my friend if she pulls my number for that big drawing. She was the one that strongly encouraged me to fill out my application and send my softball history into the committee. And last but not least, I want to thank my family, my teammates, and my significant other, Ron, for all of their support and encouragement throughout my softball career. I want to thank my family that is here tonight. My mother from Michigan, my 87-year-old mother made it in from Michigan tonight to be here with me. And ever since I began playing organized softball at the age of 9, I've never played the game for personal accolades, nor thinking that someday I would end up being honored in a 16-inch softball Hall of Fame. I played the game because I loved it so much. However, in the long run, I ended up learning and gaining so much from it. It taught me physical and mental toughness. It taught me about teamwork, competition, sacrifices, and working hard to accomplish a goal. It also rewarded me with lifelong friendships that I will always cherish. But most importantly, I learned that you have to work hard to be successful in sports and in life. And all of these things have helped make me the person that I am today. And who would have thought that a softball game could do all that? To me, softball was not just about winning a game, although fortunately for me, it came with most of my career. Softball has always meant more than that to me. To have played a game that I loved so much for over 30 years was a true blessing. I hope that I will always be remembered for how I played the game with compassion, determination, and dedication. I am extremely grateful for the life lessons that I have learned from it. And I am also very grateful for being recognized, appreciated, and honored tonight for all of my contributions to the game of 16-inch softball. Thank you all.
Lisa, don't leave me this way, baby. Spider, you like that one, Thelma Houston? Give me a little Las Vegas music, guys, in the booth. A little Las Vegas music. We're going to bring up Mary Pat right now, and we're going to do a little table raffle. Good luck, everybody.
Table raffle. Table number 42. 42.
Table number 42. Who is that? Is that Gary Goldberg's table? Oh my God. Table number 42. I had 42. Okay, thanks, Mary Pat. Let's move on to the next award. And Ron, come on up and help me with this. It's called the Field of Dreams, with a legendary 20-foot high and 250-foot fence. Is it really 250, Ron? And it's perfectly manicured infield. Great players and teams from across the nation have come to the small town of Hodgkins, Illinois. You know where it is, on South LaGrange Road, to play 16-inch softball. And this good-looking guy ran the Park District for how many? 65 years? Something like that. It provides leagues with great softball and the whole 9 yards. This year, Field of Dreams plaque, beautiful award, goes to our good friend at Hodgkins Park District. Hodgkins, come on up. Who we got here, Ron? Introduce our friend, Ron. Come on.
When I retired 5 years ago, this is the girl that took my place, Kelly Young.
Sorry, there's a lot of you out there, and I'm very nervous. So, I'd like to thank the Chicago 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame for this tremendous honor. Softball has been an institution at our facility for as long as I can remember. Many of my favorite childhood memories were heading down to the Park District to watch my dad, R.V. Millsap, and uncles Ernest and Vern play softball. I remember distinctly one night when my dad hit a homer over the left field fence and almost hit a parked car. He said, "Sorry, Ron," as he went to run around the bases. I didn't quite get what it meant at that time until I started working at the Park District and have had the pleasure of dealing with several angry people over dents and broken windshields. A lot of them probably caused by the people in this room, so thanks a lot. Hotchkiss loves this game, and one of the main reasons for that is Ron Kubicki. He built this field and started a tradition that we are proud to continue. Thank you for everything you've done for the sport of softball and for the Hotchkiss Park District. On behalf of my Board of Commissioners and the entire staff of the Hotchkiss Park District, we are honored to accept this award tonight. Thank you.
Center field. There she goes. Okay, Ron. Richard J. Daley Award, Chicago's greatest mayor ever, and he played softball back in the day. For 21 years, this year's Daley Award winner and his company have supported the vision of a permanent home of 16-inch softball. I just want to stop right here and tell you, without this sponsor, we are nowhere. This is somebody so special, I cannot tell you how much important he is. Hall of Fame has worked with this gentleman since the beginning. His efforts have been instrumental in securing the Hall of Fame's vision. I want to bring him up right now, and I want to mention my good friend Art Lurie. We love you, Art. Let's bring up the Hall of Fame honors Mr. Stuart Sorkin. Mr. Sorkin from Affy-Tapple. Affy-Tapple. Hi, Stu. We love you. Thank you.
Well, I have to say this is the easiest award I've ever won. All we've done is supported what all of you are here to support, and that is 16-inch softball. Like Affy-Tapple, 16-inch softball is a Chicago tradition. And growing up, I used to sit on the benches over at Clarendon Park and watch 16-inch softball, and I remember, I don't know who mentioned it, but I watched when they shot the water into the clincher and could never figure out what the hell they were doing, but supposedly had something to do with the fences were short. I don't know. But anyways, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee. I've seen the vision long before that building was even considered. I kind of feel like I've lived it a little bit. Watching Art Lurie, Al Mag, and the rest of the board from their dream to where it is now is amazing. Never would I have thought that we'd be in a room like this with this many people. So I'd just like to say thank you. Again, specifically thank you to Art Lurie for getting Affy-Tapple involved. And I hope all of us continue to support the Hall and continue to support 16-inch softball. Thank you.
Don't shoot that up with water, Mr. Sorkin. Stuart Sorkin, everybody, one of our great sponsors. Now here is an incredible story. My cousin over there, Art Lurie, says as all 500 or so of you leave, free of charge, we all get an Affy-Tapple. Yeah, we all get one. So don't forget to pick up your Affy-Tapple when you leave. It is the most delicious thing in the world. And George Seifer, only take one, okay? All right. Patty, only one. Okay, next award, Frank Holen Award. Mark Twain supposedly popularized the phrase, lies, damn lies, and statistics. Sounds like politics. Our Holen Award winner is probably familiar with the phrase, although his stats are always correct, because since 1992, he has compiled and recorded player and team stats for each game of the No Glove Nationals since 92. What is that, 30 years? Wow, this is great. The Hall of Fame honors Milan Mr. Stats Stevanovic. Come on up, brother. Come on up, my friend. Mr. Stats. Hello, Mr. Stats. How are you? Good to see you, brother.
It's always a pleasure.
Yep.
It's an honor to accept the Frank C. Holland Award, knowing his lifelong contributions, innovations, and dedication to the game. I'm humbled by the Hall of Fame and its legacy to honor the 16-inch softball community. I appreciate all the park districts that had their directors that had the vision to incorporate our service with their wonderful tournaments. These directors, such as Bill Cole, Dave Novak, Larry Picars, and Bob Ancona, had these visions to see that this would be of some benefit to their tournament. I appreciate the opportunity to serve the softball community, and again, thank you to the Softball Hall of Fame and the softball community in general. Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Stats has just informed me in 15 minutes, not 14, not 16, 15 minutes the silent auction closes because we're accurate. So if you want to do something with the silent auction, get over there. Okay, now it's going to get a little bit more young, not that they're better, but younger. 1993 to current era. Here we go, 93 to current. All right. They played on teams since 93, but some played before that. But let's bring up our first guy. This guy is probably one of the most major clutch hitters I've ever seen. Covered him on the Score radio station, covered him on Channel 9, and he's had many first-team All-Americans on ASA. How many do you think he had, like 12 or 15, Ron, something like that?
There's always one behind.
He was named MVP of the 2004 ASA Nationals and the 2007 Forest Park No Glove Nationals. So listen to what I just said. He won an MVP at the ASA Major, and he's won an MVP at Forest Park. That is unbelievable. He is one of the game's great ambassadors and is admired and respected throughout the softball community, and he has a nicer haircut than I do. Let's bring him up, and I love him. Look how cool this guy is. Jeff Berger. Jeff Berger. Oh, big crowd, Jeff. Jeff Berger. Look at the people, Jeff. Atta boy.
Wow. Thank you, everybody. I didn't write nothing down, so the rest of you guys who had this all written down, I'm just flying it. First of all, I want to congratulate all the inductees today to be nominated with some of the greatest players I've ever seen. Randy Russ, Ricky Gankars, Keith Filkins. It's an honor of a lifetime. I want to thank all the gentlemen that coached my teams in the past. Very good friends, very good people. Ron Kubicki, I thank you, you know that forever, I love you. Stan Paddock, Sal Vasta, Lane Neiman, one of my very dear friends, got me into this game a long, long time ago, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank my family, my mother, my father, some of the nicest people I ever met. I lost my father a year and a half ago. I know he's watching today. Dee, thank you so much for allowing me to do this. Nikki, my baby, I love you. So proud of you. So proud of you. And all in all, I want to thank my teammates, because I'd never, ever be here without them. There's about 5 individuals I want to personally thank. Wally Filkins, you taught me how to be a winner. I appreciate that. Eddie Chibi, I know you're not here today. You were the best I ever played with. I wanted to be just like you, actually better. I mean, really, he was an unbelievable player. Jimmy Matlock, one of my dear friends, another teammate I had that I rode with forever and ever, and we won a lot of things together. I want to thank him. Carl Maniscalco, I'd never be here today without you. You taught me how to be a man. You taught me how to be a winner. I thank you. Everybody else that's here today, thank you very much, and enjoy the evening.
And Jeff, he mentioned the great Wally Filkins. Wally, stand up, one of the greatest ever is here. And Carl Maniscalco, these are super players, folks, that this kid grew up with. Hey, Jason, I'm going to ask you a favor. Start up the music right now on this next guy. Go ahead, start it up. Our next inductee has won 8 ASA and SSA national championships. 8 ASAs and SSA championships. 7 Forest Park titles. He has been named tournament MVP many times. He has been selected as first-team All-American in all 3 positions, left, center, and right. In 2013, the ASA named him one of the top 22 players of all time. He was selected to the first-team all-time Mount Prospect team. Now listen to this. 15 years ago, I get a phone call out of the blue from Michael Bolton, the singer. And he says to me, "Who's this guy, Randy Russ? I want to meet him." We have a game, a pickup game, in the Dome. That was at the time in Bensenville. Randy came out, Ronnie was there, hit about 6 crushers. Michael Bolton hired him to play with his team for several years. And the first time he went to a charity game in Philadelphia, he hit one on the upper deck at the Philadelphia Stadium. Okay, so this is what we're talking about with Randy Russ. Bring up the music for our guy. Let's bring him up right now. Let's bring him up, Randy Russ. The song. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ready?
Said damn, I start doing the freak. I said damn, right out of your seat. Hey, you throw your hands high in the air. You rock it to the beat, shake it dairy air. You rock it to the beat without a kid. All right. Stop. It's my song. That's my song. I've sang that once or twice. I consider these 2 guys here very good friends of mine. I've known Ronnie Kubicki for over 20, 25 years. I've had the privilege to play with Ron, under Ron, as our manager for 3 years with the Splinters team. And I mostly played against them. We have a mutual respect for each other. There's nobody more organized than Ronnie that can run a team. And big round of applause for Ronnie Kubicki. Greatest guy in the world, the right guy in the spot for president of the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. Great family. Thank you. I appreciate everything you've ever done for me. All the kind words. George Bliss. Hi, buddy. I've known you for over 25 years. Yeah, sad to say. You're crazy. I love you. You know, I met George in 1990 at Broadview. I just in the pro office, right? I just got done playing college baseball, and my brother was playing with a team called Stooges, the Stooges in Broadview. And I just got back from the College World Series, Division II, and I drove to Broadview to watch my brother play softball. And the game was over. I had no idea who this guy was. And he came up to me, and if you know George, you know, he's like, "Chai chow, chi, what the hell is this guy talking about?" You know? Yeah, he's a great guy. 25 years later, I consider him a very good friend. We've had a lot of great times together. Thank you for your friendship, George. Appreciate it. I have a cheat sheet, so I'm not winging it. I was going to wing it, but I wrote some stuff down. First off, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee, the board of directors, my family and friends, the voters, and most importantly, all my teammates for making this possible, this night possible. I also want to congratulate the 2017 Softball Hall of Fame inductees. It's an honor for me to be inducted with a bunch of great people, especially 4 people in general, and that would be Ronnie Matriciano, very good friend of mine. Thank you. You're a fantastic teammate, and I love playing 16-inch softball with you on your team. Ricky Gankars. In my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, 16-inch softball player in the game. Keith Filkins. If somebody's better than him, it might be Ricky. If somebody's better than Ricky, it might be Keith. These are 2 of the greatest I've had an opportunity to play a couple years with, and I probably played 23, 24 years against. I'm glad to be your guys' friends. You guys are great athletes. You guys are great competitors. Thank you. Thank you. Jeff Berger. Never short on words. Love your confidence. We've been on the same team. We've been against each other. We battled it. All respect to you. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship, the 4 of you guys. I started playing 16-inch softball in the neighborhood with my brother Bobby, who's a year older than me. We played on a team called the Levy. The Levy was a bar team that Warren Johnson, a Hall of Famer, ran. We played out of Hermosa Park, Calvin Park, Blackhawk Park. I was a sophomore in high school at the time. Listen to this lineup to the guys that were on this bar team. All Hall of Famers. Willie Simpson. Tom Zarnik. Warren Johnson. And Bobby Rush Jr., who will be a Hall of Famer next year. That team started me in the right direction on learning how to play the game the right way. A couple years later, I started playing A-ball with great teams like the Jackmen, Lightning out of Melrose Park, the Stooges out of Broadview, and Ice. My big break came in 1991, the fall of '91, when I was asked to play with Splinters Sports Club by Tom Zarnik and Kenny Cooper. They just got done winning the 1991 National Championship in Arizona, Kingman, Arizona. It was a no-brainer. I had to accept. For the next 20 plus years, I played on the top teams in 16-inch softball, teams that included the Splinters, Primetime, Laborers, Lettuce, Licorice, Sage, Maxim, Paragon, and Flashback. I was very fortunate to have been coached by some of the greatest coaches in 16-inch softball history. Those coaches included Warren Johnson, Ron Shabinger, Jimmy and Michael Spadali, Pat Caputo, Lane Neiman, Danny Coco, Jimmy DeVito, Willie Simpson, Lenny Nuzzo, Wally Filkins, Ronnie Kubicki, the legendary Eddie Zolna, Joel Zimberoff, Rich Melman, and my favorite, my dad, Bob Russ Sr. For those of you that don't know, my dad was inducted into the 16-inch Hall of Fame in 2010 as a player. He played in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I haven't met a guy that has more passion for the game of 16-inch softball than my dad. I might be a little biased, but he loves the game of 16-inch softball. He was a great hitter, a great competitor, and a great leader. His Otto's team in the early 80s won back-to-back Forest Park championships. And I really think it's cool that me and him are in the Hall of Fame together as of today. Next year, hopefully, my brother Bobby, who will be eligible for the Hall of Fame, will be in there with us as well. He's a great ball player, and I think he'll be in. I would like to thank, excuse me, I would like to thank all my team sponsors, especially Al McFarland, Fritz Zimmerman, Rich Melman, and Mike and BB North. They made everything possible for us, from our uniforms, to our tournament fees, to our league fees, to our travel arrangements, to our hotels. We were treated like stars. Thank you all. Thank you, sponsors. Appreciate it. In 2013, I was honored as being one of the best 22 players in the past 50 years by the ASA. I always took pride in my offense and defensive abilities. This award I share with many of my teammates. They made me better players. My competitors made me better players, and I hope I made them better players. But more importantly, I want to be remembered as a great teammate. I want tonight to be about my teammates, the relationships that I share with my teammates, my family, their families. It's all about them tonight, because without them, I wouldn't be up here. So I'm going to mention a couple names of teammates that I've been playing with for the past 20 years or so, and they include Richie Barron. I can't see here. Where's the lights? Excuse me. Yeah, right. Richie Barron, Petey Raines, Danny Houlihan, David Rule, Tom Bomber Horn, my guy, Larry Downs, Joe Dooley, my college baseball buddy, Richie Villa, Nicky Marchese, one of the best center fielders ever to play the game. It's my privilege to play left field next to you, Nick. You made my job a lot easier. Thank you for everything. You're a big part of why I'm up here, and I can't wait. Thank you, Nicky. Ray Zarnick, Angelo Alicia, Ricky Gankars, best in the business. I looked up to you in 1990. I was playing A-ball, and I says, who's this number 88? He gets a hit every single time. He to lead the game off, sliding head first in a second. I want to be like that guy. I played with Ricky for a couple years on a Splinters team, and I think you're fantastic, buddy. You're the best. You're the best, Ricky. My opinion, you're the best. Game changer. Jake Olson, Anthony Lococo, Shane and Denny Lawler, love you guys. Jeff Jibbs Hernandez, Anthony Tyre, Ralphie Lawrence. Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on for another 10 minutes, but I want to spare you time, okay? Keep going? No. Before I get my family involved in this last couple minutes here, I got two people that I want to say thank you to. Wally Filkins. 1992, I was asked to play on the Splitters team. You took me under your wing. You might be the greatest first baseman to ever play the game. You showed me how to enjoy the game of 16-inch softball on and off the field. Like Jeff Berger says, you taught us how to win. You taught us how to enjoy the game. You taught us team camaraderie. I tried to take that my later years with the younger kids of yesteryear, okay? Thank you very much, Wally. I love you. Thank you. Rich Melman. I played for Rich Melman in 1996. The things he did for me on the field didn't compare to the things that he did for me off the field. He opened doors for me and my family. Rich Melman, forever I will be grateful for you. Thank you, Rich. Thank you for being a friend. Now to my family. My dad, Bob, his wife, Terry, my younger brother, Mark. Thank you, Dad. I love you. Thank you for all the time you put in. Thanks for coaching me for 20 years. Thank you for introducing me to this game of 16-inch softball I fell in love with 30 years ago. Thank you. Terry, thanks for coming to the game, supporting us. Mark, Mark was young. Mark was one of our bat boys back in the day. A real special moment for me and Mark was a couple years back. We invited him to come to Forest Park and be a utility player for our team. Play the outfield, do a little pitch running. I got to win a Forest Park championship with my younger brother Mark, and I got to win a national championship with my younger brother Mark. I thought that was great. Thank you. My brother Bobby, he's not here tonight. He's in South Carolina with his son. What can I say? He's my older brother. We're 11 months apart. He's great. He's my best friend. He's everything a brother can want. I followed him to high school. I followed him to college. He loves 16-inch softball. He's a great player. Top 3 first baseman of all time. Where are my kids at? My kids, are they here? Where are my kids at? Stand up. Stand up. I got my beautiful kids here. Randy Jr., Ricky and Lexi, I love you. And to my wife, Kelly, who was a softball player herself, thank you for everything you've ever done. We've been down this road many a times. I hope you like watching me as much as I like watching you play. I love you. You're a great mother. Thank you for everything. And last but not least, my mom. My mom. My mom. What can I say? There she is. Single mom, put me and my brother through Catholic high school, college, brought us to every sporting event possible. I love you more than anything. Thank you very much. You're a great mom. You're a great grandma. I love you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening. Are they happy just to get out of here? Georgie, thank you. Can I bring comments right here?
I'm going to say it right now. Here's our speech. Okay, now, here's his speech. Somehow, he broke the record of his father. These 4 paragraphs went into 765 paragraphs. And he'll be running for president of the United States in 4 years. Okay, I know it's tough, and we gotta keep it going, all right? So, I know some of you maybe need to have a little break here, but take it if you need to, I know. Okay, let's go real quick now. The next inductee has been selected to 13 ASA, SSA All-American teams. He has played every infield position and has received first-team All-American honors for every infield position. 1, 2, 3, 4, wow. He's played on the teams that have won 10 national championships. Listen, 10 Forest Park championships. That's got to be a record. Now, everybody in this room, we all sit and we watch baseball and football. We talk about Tom Brady and we talk about maybe Ernie Banks or Hank Aaron or Babe Ruth. In any conversation in 16-inch softball, no matter what you say, from 1887, right, Ron, on, he could be by the greatest of all time. I saw him play this year. We had it on YouTube. 50 years old, MVP, 45s. Let's just bring him up. Keith Pin Filkins.
Good evening. Thank you. I want to thank the committee. Thank you, Ron. Wow, Rand, you killed me. You came over with that paper. I started laughing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't even know what I did a month ago. And you go, you got to fill this out? I go, you got to help me. You brought it back. Me and the wife looked at it. I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, thank you, Ron. I just want to thank everybody, all my teammates, everyone. My wife, Joanna, my 2 kids. Thank you. It's been an honor, privilege. Thank you.
Possibly the greatest of all time. Of all time, possibly. Ron, I know you agree. Possibly of all time, right, Ron? Ron Kubicki shaking his head. Keith Filkins. And the greatest speech of all time. Our next inductee helped the 45s win 6 ASA major titles, 8 Forest Park No Glove championships, 9 Classic League, wow, Mount Prospect, 9 Classic League championships. He was named MVP of the ASA Major Nationals, Forest Park No Glove Nationals, Westchester Tournament. It's very simple. One of the greatest again ever. You know, tonight we have just a one-of-a-kind class here. Number 88, Ricky Gankars. Ricky Gankars.
Wow, you can't really see anything up here. I did have a speech, but no, I agree. The guys nailed it. Everyone nailed it. Randy, fantastic. Ronnie, fantastic. Jeff, fantastic. So, I mean, I just got to say thank you to my coaches, my teammates, Bob Rasha. You put us in, like, the best uniforms, the best dressed. And no one said you could win when you were best dressed, but guess what? We did. And we won a lot of games. I mean, I could pull it up on my notes, but we won a lot of games. I'd like to thank, there's one game in Forest Park, I got to bring it up, the traffic game. I think we were down 14-1 in the third inning. So if anyone's here from traffic, I'm sorry to say this, but we did win that game. And we won the tournament, so greatest game in Forest Park history. Pat Harity, you brought me so far in this game. You taught me how to play, enjoy the game. It was fantastic. So many years with you guys. All my teammates, Frank Mastari, Danny Mastari, Jeff Berger, Jimmy Malak, Danny Jello, Richie Villa, Nicky Pinto, everyone that's here. I mean, it's a family. It's not about softball. It's about, softball's a 1 hour. We get there an hour before, we play for an hour, and we go to the tavern for 3 hours, maybe 4. And I'm not gonna tell you, I didn't learn this from my dad. My dad, I was like 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever it was, in the city at Reese Park, Portage Park, Indian Road, and I'd be like begging him every night, take me to your game, take me to your game. No, 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 and I don't blame him for not taking me now that I'm on the other side, but he took me. All I want to do is go to the game for the hour and go to the tavern, have 2 pops, I'm talking sodas, and play a little pinball. I mean, I knew how to fix the pinball games back then. I mean, Randy Russ explained it completely well with his dad. If it wasn't for our dads playing over there in the city, we would never be here right now. My brother, for teaching me how to cut, and just go out there and play. I mean, we played 7 nights a week, 7 days a week, every day, whatever we can do. It was a lot of fun. I met my best friend, Danny Mastari, in 3rd grade. Freshman year, we put a team together. We went out there, and we were playing against the big boys all of a sudden. At 18 years old, we were playing against the Whip, Sports Station, whoever, and we had them beat every time, but we always lost. Then we finally won 1 out of like 20. And we did win 1 out of 20. We beat Cooper's. And then Frank and Danny got in a fight because Frank was already on Cooper's because he was the big shot. So, but we won the fight too, trust me. So we finally won a game. But I just want to thank my family, my mom and dad, for putting up with this. My soon-to-be wife, Carrie, my son, Max, Kendra, Bobo, who's sleeping. He's not feeling too good, but he'll be okay. He'll bounce back. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been out there every night because it is a pain in the ass, and you guys all know that. Everyone out there knows that. You can't be out there every night. It's crazy. But long story short, as my soon-to-be wife Carrie would say, to end this, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. And I guess I'm going to save this for the Hall of Fame. We'll put it in there and no one ever read it. Can I thank my sponsors? The McGrath table, the Gankars table, the Rasha table. Am I done, Ron? If I missed anyone. All right, thanks everybody. I appreciate it.
Ricky Gankars, a legend of Maine West High School. Okay, our next inductee has been selected as an MVP or All-Tournament Player 11 times during her 40 years of playing softball. She helped the Badeos, the Brat Pack, the Blaze win many tournaments and league titles. She still plays for the Hangovers, really? The Divas and co-ed teams like Bohicas, Spirits, and Oak Lawn. Folks, 10 years ago I had her on television. She made one of the greatest catches ever in Grant Park history. Bring her up, Rosie Geraci. Rosie.
Thank you. Thank you, George. I'm a little nervous here. I said to my fiance over there, I don't even shake like this in the championship softball game when it's 7th inning in Grand Park and the score is 1-1. So public speaking isn't my best. So I'm going to try to go to my notes so I don't ramble. And then I hope you don't mind, but I'd like to wear my hat because I wear it like 24 hours a day. And I just feel like I can't talk without it. It's like my trademark. I don't mean it, no disrespect. And first and foremost, I wanted to thank God for giving me a passion for sports. As a kid growing up, I'm just so grateful to God for giving me a passion for sports because volleyball, basketball, softball, everything just kept me out of trouble and gave me something positive to do in the summer. So I also want to thank Al Mag and Tony Riebel for creating the Hall of Fame. I don't know where you guys are, but without your vision, none of this would even be possible. So thank you to Al and Tony. I wanted to also thank the Hall of Fame board and the committee and the directors for this induction and the president, Ron. And also Bill Waddington. I don't know if he's here. I didn't meet him, but my big brother, Chuck, and him. I appreciate you guys writing my biography for me and all the time you spent on that. I also wanted to thank Babe Sanfilippo for nominating me and Maria Shaw from the Brat Pack for wanting to nominate me. Maria's always had my back, and I just greatly appreciate all her support. Everyone knows with the Hall of Fame, you don't make it here alone. You know, you make it with all your teammates. So I especially wanted to thank my teammates. It's a real blessing to be honored at the same year that my Badeos team is honored. And I played with the Badeos for 19 years under Ron Hurry, and they just built me from a kid up, and I just greatly appreciate them and Mr. and Mrs. Wattis for getting me on the team. They had a shortstop. I got my break when Cindy Kadich moved out of town. Otherwise, she'd be standing up here right now. That's how I earned shortstop. So thank you, Cindy. But Cindy should be here easily. Let's see here. Mr. and Mrs. Wattis. And then some of the other teams I played on, like I played for 40 years, so I don't really want to miss anybody. But I played with Jerry and Chris's Baldwin, the Blaze, Bad Company, the Foxes, Brat Pack, Page's Bandits, Adam McKinney's Bohicas. And I especially want to thank Colleen Elliott with the Hangovers for still keeping me on her team today. I'm 54 now, and I tell Adam, McKinney, and Coed, anytime you want to kick me off the team, you know, there's a mercy rule. You don't have to keep me around. When the younger ones are coming up, you know, you can give them the position. So don't feel bad if my time has expired. And I especially want to thank everybody who voted for me, and all of you for being here today. So I really appreciate everybody for being here. And some of the big ones that I think go unnoticed are the umpires. You know, the umpires, in my opinion, are the true heroes. They've umped the games, they've controlled the games. People like Jimmy, there's just been so many unrecognized umpires over the years that have done a wonderful job, and they're the real heroes for controlling the game. And let's see here. Last is my family. I wanted to thank my family for being here, for supporting me. And my brother Chuck went on his phone from A to Z and texted everybody to try and get everybody to vote for me. So I appreciate Chuck, even lawyers, to vote for me. So thank you, Chuck. And I appreciate my brother Tommy for his prayers. He prays for me before all my games. And his prayers really helped elevate my game. And my cousin Steven, my nephews, and my sister-in-law, all my family members. And lastly is my fiance, Tom Seidel. I want to give him a special thank you because for 40 years he's been hitting me probably 150 balls 3 days a week, and I'm here due to his commitment and making me a better ball player. So thank you, Tom, for being a wonderful partner, and thank you and God bless.
Rosie Geraci. The next of the 93 to current, we want to just thank him right up front for being patient. This is the last in this era. The Hall of Fame inductee played for, listen to the name of this team, Masterpiece. Isn't that a great name? Masterpiece. In the late 70s, and the Flamingos, another great name. The B Athletes, the Bandits. In the 80s and 90s, he was a top infielder who was known for a strong and accurate arm, and he could hit for power and do the right thing at the right time. Also one of the coolest names in the world. Let's bring him up. Howard Sko Blakely. Sko, come on up, Sko! Sko! Hi, buddy. Thanks for being patient.
Hello. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame for presenting me with this award tonight. I'm honored to accept this award, and I'm filled with pride to be inducted into the Chicago Softball Hall of Fame. I'd like to thank everyone who voted on my behalf and my former teammates, coaches, and I'd like to give a special thanks to Philip Williams, not only a Hall of Fame coach, but a Hall of Fame friend. I'd like to say congratulations to everyone who's being honored tonight. And I'd like to say that I'm blessed to be accompanied tonight by my family, who has shown me that what's important to me is equally important to them. So on behalf of me and my family, thank you, God bless. Thank you.
Strong backup over there, Sko Blakely. Now, let's bring up Married Pat for some gambling.
George, you want to pull? Yeah. This is the split the pot. Okay, split the pot. Shh. The pink ticket, 0, 6, 7, 9, 2, 5. Okay, please, there's a few more inductions to go. Could we give them our attention, please? Be courteous. Thank you. $675.
And please leave 10% for me. Thank you. Okay, Ron, here we go to the organizer division. Now, I know it's getting a little late, and Randy broke her record this year for long speech, but we got, a few more really important categories here, especially the Wall of Fame guys. So let's stay together and have a little fun, and if you're going to have a few beers, kind of get behind the wall. You're behind the wall, that's it. Okay. Organizer. Organizer inductee began her 16-inch softball career in 1958. Tony, where were you in 58? You were with me, weren't you? La Margarita, right. She played, taught, coached, and managed and organized for 16-inch softball for 35 years. Once her playing days are over, for the next 23 years, she taught softball skills to hundreds and hundreds of girls. In 1988, she was named the citywide 16-inch softball chair, hey, for the girls and women's softball group of the Chicago Park District. Wow. Gloria Kolbas, come on up. The Hall of Fame honors Gloria Kolbas.
Good evening, and thank you very much. In my 30-year career with the Chicago Park District, I've had many teachers and supporters help me throughout this career. I'd like to recognize 3 of these individuals tonight as my friends and mentors. First, Antoinette Mafia, who was my first teacher in the Chicago Park District at Clark Playground on the northwest side of Chicago. She taught me the game of softball, but she also taught me the meaning of sportsmanship, how to treat your teammates, and to respect your opponents. She made me want to be her and be part of the Chicago Park District. I was just a sophomore in high school, but I knew my vocation at that time. 6 years later, I started my career in the Park District, and I had the great fortune of working at Hiawatha Park, which at one time worked with one of the greatest players in all of 16-inch softball, Robert Lamont. I also got the opportunity to work with Johnny High at that time. He was one of the chief softball umpires in the Northwest Side. They taught me so much on how to run leagues and how to run tournaments. They taught me about scheduling, brackets, seedings, hiring umpires. And they helped me in my career, which helped me organize many leagues, both locally and area-wide, and then when we became cluster-wide, and finally to become citywide chairman for girls and women's softball. I look out here tonight and I see so many spectacular women athletes in softball and want to acknowledge the Badeo team for their excellence tonight also. And I see other players that played for me and against me at tournaments. And as you know, when you're an avid softball player, you don't just play in one league a week. You play twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and on tournaments on the weekends. Because you love the game, you find a place to play. Whether it's as a ringer in the Secretaries League at Grant Park or the most prestigious leagues and tournaments in the city. You love the game and you find a place to play. I'd also like to acknowledge my family who's here, my brother Mel and his wife Maureen. I come from a very competitive athletic family. And my brother is now in 3 Hall of Fames, separate Hall of Fames, including the Illinois Coaches Hall of Fame for softball. And I'm only in 2, so he's up on me. So Mel, I'm trying to catch up to you. But he also has 2 state championship rings for girls softball for coaching at Oak Park River Forest High School, which he won the tournament last year. So you can see my family's very competitive. And his granddaughter, which I found out just today, plays on the same team with Rachel's daughter. They play for the Oak Park River Forest team, and they had a great, successful year last summer. So softball runs in the family, and also my great nephew, Jack, who's be playing at Cooperstown this August in a tournament there. So you can tell my family is very, very competitive. This past St. Patrick's Day, I was at a party and I met this gentleman, and he came up to me and he said, I understand you're being inducted into the 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame. He goes, where did you play? And I said, well, I played and organized on the northwest side of the city. And he said, oh my God, he said, I'm from the La Follette Park area. And I saw his face light up with the love of the game that I believe is out there in all of us. He proceeded then to tell me his war stories about all of the teams he played on, all of his opponents, all of the parks he played at, and I could see this love of the game in him. And his fond memories, all of his war stories just came pouring out of him. And I thought of this event tonight, and I know that tonight we are really celebrating excellence and achievement. But I would also like to celebrate the thousands of players who are out there that might never get to this night, but that love the game and love the pure joy of playing softball that we all share. So I thank Jim from La Follette Park for reminding me of this joy of softball that we share. And I thank the Chicago 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame for this great honor. Thank you.
Okay, and I just want to ask a favor if we can kind of keep it down, and whoever comes up, coming forward, try to keep your speech a little bit shorter. My producer over there, Zach Mag, just said we might run out of videotape. So, you got it. Okay, we'll have fun with it. Umpire inductee has called balls and strikes in more than 2,700 games. During his 30-year career, he officiated 25 glove and no-glove tournaments at Washington Park, 20 Metro, 20 states. What? Wow. 10 nationals. He's also umpired major nationals in Alsip, Mount Prospect, all over the place. This is a super umpire. Thornton Lee. Come on up, Thornton. Thornton Lee. Wow, you got a lot of umping, Thornton.
Good, a lot of umping. Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for their induction. After 25 years of officiating, I've experienced many changes in the game of 16-inch softball. From the no glove to the 3 gloves to the 5 gloves and eventually 10 gloves. And finally, but through it all, I knew that teams and athletes playing together would find a way to win no matter what it took. I have to consider, I have to give homage first to all my instructors in my Washington Park days and my Blue Island days. First, I start with James Melton, Dub Hill, Willis Miles, Ralph Wade, Sergeant McKinnon, Saul Hall, Jerry Jenkins, James Brooks, Raymond Johnson, Mike Brown, Ron White, and Mike Garner, and Larry Dantley. They made sure that I continued to stay in the books. We talked at length about the game, the advantages of always being in the right position to make the proper call. Always having good eye contact with your partner, So even though sometimes it seemed like it was me and my partner against the world, our main theme of the game was to keep control of it. So with this, I thank the committee for the 2016 category of umpire. Thank you much.
That's a beautiful thing. That's what we like, guys like this. Thornton Lee. Manager. Our manager inductee believed strongly that softball was meant to be played Chicago style with no gloves in park leagues and tournaments. I agree with this guy. He loved to play, and he managed some great teams. From 1990 to 2015, he managed the classic, the legendary Eastsiders, in over 100 tournaments and parks all over Chicago. He's proud over the years that his guys have always played hard for him because he is none other than Todd Mirabelli. Todd! All right. Sorry it's taking so long.
Thank you. I can't see with the lights in my eyes here. I'm a firm believer in 16-inch softball, no glove. When I was a young kid in the 60s, my brother John, God rest his soul, he died about a year ago, used to take me and my brother Gar to his games around the neighborhoods, and I remember at the end of the season, he used to take us over to Trumbull Park. They had a Mexican Independence tournament there, and the Bobcats used to play there. And as a young boy, I got to see Willie and Tello and the great manager Eddie Zona. So, I fell in love with the game at a bright young age. And then in the mid-'70s, we were playing in a little park. We were teenagers. Wolf Park on the east side on 108th and Mackinac. And my brother John used to come and watch us play, and he thought we were talented enough to move out and play in the leagues around the neighborhood. And he was right, And before you know it, we were playing all over the neighborhood, all over the city, and in every no-glove tournament that we could find. And then all of a sudden we were a major team by 1979-80. And I can't remember the year when it happened, but maybe 81, 82, 83, they put gloves on us. And for me, the East Side team, can you imagine the whips with gloves on? I mean, come on. You couldn't beat them without gloves, and you put gloves on them. So I just started running my own teams and went back to the parks where they paid good money. I went back to the park leagues where they played great money. And I wasn't going to beat the whips. I wasn't going to beat the splinters. So I found a way to win in other ways. Hey, I tell it like it is. So while everybody else was out there beating their brains in, I was stealing all the money in the parks. No, that's a true story. And probably half the guys in this room played for me. Berger, Keith, all the guys down there from Jinx. And we had a blast. We won a lot of money, drank a lot of beer, and I mean, from the south side to the north side, every tournament that was in a park, we were in. The East Siders were in every tournament. And we won every tournament with the exception of the O'Connor. And of course, not Forest Park, because I never got in Forest Park because it was a major tournament. And in '98, we won the Nationals and A Nationals. So I got to get off, or I was told I got to hurry up. So anyways, from 1990 to the year 2015, we played in over 100 tournaments all around the city. And I told Patty McGuire that I would throw her a plug because I know her from Man Park, and we played in her leagues and got a lot of checks from her from winning her leagues, I'll tell you that much. And one more second, I want to thank all the guys that came out here to I can't see because of the lights. Maddie and Marty Dosen, who've been with me for 25 years. Every tournament, those guys are great. Chuck, been with me off and on. Jimmy Sherlock, 25 years. My brother Gar, Eddie Borngraver, Tommy Newman, Hall of Famer Tommy Newman, Joe Samodi, been with me 40 years. 40 years we've been together playing softball. We finally got beat about a year ago, and I think it's over. But, did I forget anybody? Billy Miller, Matty Dosen Sr., Bobby Begoric, who managed these Siders, Mickey Konar, Stacy, my sister Joan, her husband Claude. Did I get everybody? All right. One more thing. Being a manager so long, I got to shrink, and she told me to take notes with me today. And I told her I just run my mouth like I always do. Thank you.
Okay, Todd, from the East Siders. Our media award this year has covered, through their great newspaper, 16-inch softball for 25 years. You know, they're the paper that has that special pullout section every year. You see at the Forest Park No Glove Nationals. We're talking about the great, legendary Forest Park Review. Bring him up, John Rice. Come on up, John. Tough act, huh?
Good job, George.
Just trying to get it going.
Hi. My name is John Rice. I'm accepting the media award for the Forest Park Review newspaper. We're thrilled to get this trophy, and it couldn't have come at a better time. The Review is celebrating its 100th birthday this year. Okay, thank you. I've been writing for the Review for 30 of those years, and I consider Forest Park to be the softball capital of the United States. We have the Field of Dreams Park District Fields. Thanks to the hard work of Larry Pikarts, Grace Kenny, and Rachel Entler. We have the Softball Hall of Fame. And each year, we host the No Gloves Tournament. For the past 25 years, I've been writing our special No Gloves section. The hard part is coming up with fresh topics each year. I usually go to McGaffer's Tavern and I ask Chubbs Polfus for ideas. Does anybody here know Chubbs? Guess not, okay. Chubbs is never short on ideas, although most of them are about what a great manager he was. Chubbs hooks me up with legends of the game, like Mike Tallow. Over the years, we've written about Hall of Famers, up-and-comers, women's softball, co-ed softball, high school softball, blind softball, overseas softball, Iowa softball, and even softball with gloves. I focused on umpires, scorekeepers, and the grounds crews that groom the field after every game. I work with the photographers, layout artists, and editors to produce a section. I'll probably write the section again this year, and Chubbs will tell me that last year's was better. Softball is the lifeblood of our community, and the No Gloves Tournament is the highlight of the summer in Forest Park. My wife and I usually volunteer to pour beer. Sometimes we pour the wrong kind, and we have to drink our mistakes. this only leads to more mistakes. I want to thank the Hall of Fame for recognizing the hard work the review has done for the past century. This has been a tough year for journalists. We're accused of lying, and we've been labeled the enemies of the American people. But when it comes to softball, we're serious about getting it right. Other than Chubb's one-loss record, there has been no fake news. We are going to continue to promote Chicago's game and the Hall of Fame Museum. We will do our best to make sure the sport continues to grow. And who knows, maybe someday my 5-year-old grandson, Troy, will play in the No Gloves tournament. He already has a broken finger. Thank you.
Okay, John Rice. Thanks, John. Well, now we're going to move to a little bit lighter, more fun. We're all having, good drinks now and everything. But before I introduce our first Wall of Fame recipient, I just want to mention that in all the years I've been up here, this is the only player I can think of that has his own professional photographer brought in from MTV. Okay? And what a guy. This honoree played softball since he was, I checked this out, 6 years old. In 1980, he and Chuck Martinkus, another Hall of Famer, co-founded the team called Smoke, a team that played in almost every night of the week, traveling across, played everywhere. Here is one of the greatest musicians we have in America today. Let's bring him up right now, our Hall of Fame guy tonight, and watch the screen real quick. A little short video. Gary Goldberg. Gary. Come on up, Gary.
The stars were burning bright.
That's Gary up there on the screen. You look good, Gary.
Thank you for that. That's our new music video called Where I Are. Thank you, Greg Bizzarro, for filming that for us. I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee. I got to put my glasses on, I can't see. Ronnie Kubicki, thank you so much. Ray Tops, Art Lurie, Frankie Lentine, George Bernardos, Chris Downs, especially my friend Billy Cavanaugh, and the great George Bliss. You can't have a better MC than George Bliss. Chuck and I started Smoke about 37 years ago, and we never thought it would be this good of a team. I don't want to talk too long but anyways, through the years, we won a lot of championships. I was fortunate enough to pitch a perfect game in the Schaumburg Dome on March 8th of 2008. And then, it's a funny thing, in bowling, I shot my first 300 game in 2014. But anyways, I have 3 loves in life, and softball is number 1, music is number 2, and Mary Ann's number 3. All right, in that order. Anyways, to summarize, this game started in 1887. It's gone all the way, I started playing this game when I was 6, and we've gone all these years now, and I hope this game continues on into the generations to come. And nobody stands up here if it isn't for your teammates. They make you up here, and I've had great teammates over the years. And one more quick story. My favorite Smoke player is sitting out there. His name is Jimbo Thompson. And I'll never forget, about 25 years ago, he was hitting a home run, and he's running at second base. His pants fell off, and I was screaming at him to keep running. And he kept running, and he made a home run. And now he wears suspenders. So those are good memories, but I hope the game goes on forever. Bye. Thank you.
Look at that great video. Here's his fans cheering for him. The great Gary Goldberg. There he is. Yeah. Wow. Frankie Bizzarro. Good job there, Frankie. Okay, our last Wall of Famer tonight, and we got a double threat here. The next honoree started playing softball with the Tonti Playground CYO team. He then played major softball with the Registers, the Stompers, the Jinx, and a few others. He was an ASA and USSSA All-American, the March of Dimes home run champion. Wow. And the MVP of the Arizona Spring Classic. One of the most popular guys I've ever met in all my years, and he's going to be up here for two things right now. Let's bring him up. Mike Kamajarian. Mike Cam, come on up, Mike. Give Mike some music, yeah. And Mike, your team's coming up next.
Yeah.
You can combine it.
Should I stay up here then? All right, I just want to congratulate all the inductees tonight. I was fortunate to have great teammates and great friends. This is an honor. Thank you.
And this is why we love Mike Cam. And Mike's going to stay right here because now we're going to move into the teams. Let's have some applause for the teams coming up. Let's do Eye of the Tiger. Let's go with it. Our first team honoree was formed from 4 Southside teams with Bobby Glosa and Tommy Balick from 1988 to 2014. They're standing over here. They're ready to come up. They competed in leagues and tournaments throughout Chicago. Let's bring up that music, Eye of the Tiger. The Hall of Fame honors the wonderful team, JYNX, the Jinx. Take over, Mike.
You got our hats on? Hats on. This stage is going down. This stage is going down. The stage is going to go down. That's yours, what? All right, we'll put it over there. Come on, move down a little bit. Don't fall off the table. About now. Are we all up here? Okay. Jinx. From its black cat logo, this team has always had a little different swagger. We're a maverick, nonconformist, renegade type of team. The Jinx was formed, like he said, from 4 Southside teams in '88. Within a couple years, the team was a different mix. New players, friends, and family joined the team, and the Jinx became a team of pals. Players from other teams joined us to step up and play better class softball. Friends we made here will go on forever. I'm not going to say this and that about the Jinx. This, that, we won. People know what we won. But what we did win, we won each other's friendship. We played in every tournament. We never ducked anyone. We played no matter if we were shorthanded or not, and we were a lot of times shorthanded. And anyone who ever played the Jinx knows that we had played and had fun. They can all attest to that. These gentlemen here behind me and with me, some of the greatest players in the game. But more importantly, they're great individuals who I was happy to be a teammate with and be associated with. I was fortunate enough to play with them and be part of their team. We are all honored to be recognized by the Hall of Fame tonight. Thank you.
All right, let's roll. That's it.
Yeah, I give us time. Tommy's got it.
Supposed to go this way. We're all going to 6, doing it wrong.
Hey, I'm doing it wrong the whole.
You see, this is why I love Mike Cam. Mr. Colucci, love you. See you later, buddy. This is why I love Mike Cam, because he's quick and he's good. Our next team to be honored truly fits the family affair category because it started out as a team made up of the Coppola brothers and cousins. Over the years, they added non-family members as others came and went. In 2001, they placed fourth in the Nationals at Schaumburg, starting an 8-year run of very, very strong competition. One of these days, they're going to win it all. You mark my word. And you'll still win it. In 2005, they took fourth at Forest Park. Let's bring up Mike McCune, our Iowa brothers, Stover. Come on, Mike.
Thank you very much. We'll make this quick. First of all, I'd like to thank the Chicago 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame for this great honor. Thank you all for believing that we deserve to be in this great company with all the inductees tonight. I'd like to thank Tim Walker, John Spinner, and Chuck Coppola Sr. here for being here with me tonight. I was fortunate enough to be a part of the carpet country team, the first Iowa team, and now part of the second. It's a true honor to be involved in this great, great community. Like mentioned, we started back in the 90s with the Coppola family. In early 2000, we started with a couple of us that joined as friends. And in 9 years, we were in the top 4 in the country in the Glove Nationals 7 years. We had 4 runner-up finishes and we had 2 thirds. And if it wasn't for some of the guys that got inducted tonight, like Jeff, Randy, Keith, and Ricky, we might even won a title or 2. So great competitions. And then one of the greatest things was to be invited numerous times to the No Glove Nationals, the true softball. And like George said, finishing 4th and 5th place. We were very, very, very competitive. We respected everybody in the game, but we were afraid of nobody. We fought till the end, and the worst thing was maybe playing the 45s the first round of the Nationals at Marshalltown, 2 of the best teams of that year, and we came back to play them later on in the tournament. Real quick, I'd like to thank everybody for, again, this honor. Our team was teammates first, but became friends and family forever. I'd like to thank all our family members, all our kids, and everybody that grew up in the park with us. We're so glad that you've included the state of Iowa and softball in your guys' great community and Hall of Fame, and we look forward to hopefully being continued to be included for many years to go. Once again, thank you very much for this great honor. Good night.
Hi, Mom.
The party is starting for Iowa. Okay, the next team to be honored played at Grant Park in the Plaza League. It consisted of employees from all areas of People's Gas. From 1973 to 2003, they finished in the top 3 every single year. In '87, they won the championship of the citywide industrial tournament. Wow, these guys are good. They joined up with other teams to play in the 39 and over league. It's very simple. Let's just bring up Larry Grabowski and none other than People's Gas. Hi, Larry. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Most of our guys are here. Okay, I just want to say, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Just want to say that playing softball itself is reward. It's so much fun. You meet so many interesting people, both with your team and the teams that you play against. But I want to read an email to you that I received from one of our opponents. It's short, and his words were, "Congratulations on your admittance to the Hall of Fame. You have a great history as a team and as individual good guys who always were good ambassadors of the game. We all look back on those days as a great time in our lives. Your team has such a long and storied history. It is fitting that it is completed with being admitted into the Hall of Fame. It has been an honor to play against you as well as with you these past few years. A team of gentlemen, competitors that came from the top down, starting with the 2 Jims, Voss and Quinn." Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gas House. Larry Grabowski from People's Gas. Maybe one of the best industrial teams ever, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Our next team honoree started playing softball as the Roadrunners, but the name was changed to the Bideos in 1975. We only got a couple more teams, so let's get it together and then we'll party afterwards, okay? The core players were the team for 20 years plus. From the 80s and 90s, they were the dominant team in women's softball. They won 10 league titles, 10! Grant Park tournament 7 times, 15 tournaments, ASA, USSSA, Metro. I can't even go off the page. Let's bring her up. Kim Panazzo from the Badeos. Come on, Kim.
Thank God it's the end of the night. Nobody's really listening anymore. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee and all the people who put this dinner together. We as the Badeos are honored and humbled for this team recognition tonight. We'd like to congratulate all the inductees and team honorees. Big shout out to our shortstop, Rosie Drury. Congratulations. A well-deserved honor. I'd like to thank our coaches, Mr. and Mrs. Kadich, who were here with us tonight but had to leave. Jim and Judy Wattis for all the years of dedication. Our coach, Ron Hurry, unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, but his daughters, Lori and Cheryl, are here. And that's the reason why Ron started coaching. Thanks for sharing your dad with us for all those years. Ron's time and support, we would not have achieved this honor without him. Ron was the glue that kept us together. These years spent together were the best summers of our lives. We became much more than teammates. We formed lifelong friendships, and that's something we all cherish. We cannot thank Ron enough for all he did as a coach, a mentor, and as a friend. Ron, we wish you could be here tonight. We miss you, and we love you. Thanks, everybody. That's it. All right, we're out.
My beer's this way.
No, my beer's this way.
Sorry, guys, but my beer's there.
The one and only Kim Panazzo, and a big hand for Badeos. We're getting really close. Next team was organized by one of the most popular players in all of softball, Johnny Pellegrino. Johnny Pellegrino, 1987. They won the 93 U-Trip-A championship in Orland Park, 94 ASAAs in Blue Island, 1998 Grant Park No Glove Tournament. They won the 1999 ASA-A State Tournament, ASA Nationals in Aberdeen, South Dakota. We had a big party last night. I'm going to let you talk to them. They're always a little ready to go, battle-ready team. Can we bring up the Rebels and Johnny Pellegrino? The Rebels and Johnny Pellegrino. Come on up, Johnny.
How'd you get up? Hold that, Andy. Holy shit, you can't see anybody.
Oh, shit.
Get in there, man. Get in there.
Man, come on.
Here we go.
Well, first I want to thank the Hall of Fame for this. This is really a cool thing to be recognized for something that we love to do. I want to give a shout out to all the current players that just got in. I played with all those guys against them, and it's, you know, watching them up close, they're all deserving. I want to give a special shout out to Jeff Bergs, who played with us a little. I know he's got Rebel shirts in his closet. Hall of Famer, always in my book. And I want to give a special shout out to the Jinx, who going in with them for our group is something special. But I just want to say, being a small town Hickory Hills team, we competed at a pretty good level. I think we put our mark on the 90s, which to me was the best era in softball. And I just want to thank the Hall for recognizing that. It's a really cool thing. And I want to thank all these guys behind me for making it possible, and definitely for putting up with my crap. But thank you.
Hey, Grino.
Where'd he go, Grino?
Hey, I gotta say something. Hey, dude, you got something to say? I like that break. Come on,
Andy. You got the picture?
Andy, get up there. Let's go.
Hey, union, yes. Anybody that wants to vote union, yes. For all the supporters out there, here we go.
We got a union, and guys getting the union yes tournament. That was Johnny Pellegrino's Rebels. Okay, our next team, we have 2 more teams, and I want to thank you for being patient, especially my good friends that are coming up now. And you know what I'm going to say? Bring up your entire family. Bring them all up on the stage and right here. Our next team honoree played softball for 39 years, all over the city of Chicago, South Side, West Side. They won the Sunday Best 5 teams, the He-Man 3 times, the Washington Park Classic twice, the Cocktail League twice, along with appearing in the ASA Nationals many times. They also played with love, respect for the game and their opponents, and they had fun on the field. And they have a big contingency tonight, which makes me very, very proud. And I apologize to you folks for waiting, but we love you for sticking around. So come on up, guys, and help your friends. A healthy dose of competition, family inclusion. Can we bring up Kenny Dorsey and the Outcasts? Ken Dorsey and the Outcasts. Yes, bring up the music. Come on up.
Here we go. Here we go, Outcasts. Here we go. Here we go, Outcasts. Here we go.
Well, y'all, them women still the same, man.
Well deserved, baby. Well deserved.
First of all, I'd like to thank the committee for honoring us tonight.
Right.
Also, like to thank organizers of our leagues that we played in from all around the city, different states, and this different national tournament. A special thanks out to Mr. Pete Dawkins, who's no longer with us, Doug Hill, Ron Wright, Percy Coleman, Floyd Glover, Willis Mile, and all the other softball organizers that we were able to play in those leagues. We also like to thank the teams that came before us and made it to the Hall of Fame. The Safari, the Senators, Flashes, those was inspiration teams that we wanted to beat and we eventually beat. And we were able to stay around for over 4 decades playing championship ball. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Mr. the Doctor, Ray Thomas from Ravens, Miss Charlene Brown that still support us now out there in the pink, Jimmy from Jimmy Place, and most of all, we'd like to thank our true fans out there, those ladies, our girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives that supported us, our family. This is what it's all about, our family. And I'm gonna let Greg say a few words. Go ahead, Greg. You got the button? Greg, it ain't on.
Fasten this one.
Check, check. Check, check. Here we go. There you go. First of all, I want to say I'm very proud of this team, Outcast. I want to give you all a little bit of history about the Outcast. Outcast started back in 19... Yeah, make it... You see, Outcast started back in 1979. I want to also pay tribute to 2 individuals that is very instrumental in about this day, about Outcast being honored. First, the team itself, I want to pay homage to a fellow by the name of Doc Anderson. Doc Anderson was the first sponsor for Outcast and was the individual that came up with the purple and white for the team. And one of the other person, they're going to be very surprised, that have a lot to do where this team is at, is very responsible for the existence of this team and for the different generations of the team, even though he didn't stay for it to the end. I want to salute my friend Andre Huff. Andre had a vision with this team when the things went bad and it seemed like the team was going to go into funk and so forth. He went out and got these players and made sure that this team pushed forward. So this great moment, even though this is a team accomplished, without this man, none of this would happen. Thank you all.
Y'all ready? Yeah.
What are we doing?
What we?
You ready? All right.
Who are we?
Okay.
Who are we?
Okay.
Who are we?
Okay.
Who are we? 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 What's our flag? Purple and white. Proud of the Outcast. Woo. Outcast.
Ken Dorsey, Outcast. And the whole family is here from Outcast. Wow. Wow, that's a softball team. Ken Dorsey, we love you, Kenny. And we're going to have a little fun afterwards. This is the last team of the night, folks. This team played at Grant Park in the 1950s through the 60s, winning the title several times. They became the Gillette Strokers in the 70s and were competitive at Grant Park. And then they won it all in 2005. They won the Grant Park Plaza League Championship. As the popularity of their team increased, the Strokers formed the Old Strokes. Do you love it? The Old Strokes. And then the Leftovers to play in leagues around the suburbs. Let's bring up Jimmy Quinn and his guys, the Strokers, the Old Strokes and the Leftovers. Mr. Quinn, thank you for being patient, Jimmy Quinn.
Get over here, Joe. Woo! Stronger fast. Ooh, thank you. Save the best till last. Remember the word?
Come on, move it in, move it in. Move it in.
Scoop us all up.
Good evening. My name is Jim Quinn. I'm the spokesman for the Strokers, Old Strokes, and Leftovers tonight. It looks as if they've saved the best for last. But we would like to thank all of the Hall of Fame folks for inducting us into the Hall of Fame. We really appreciate it. We're very humbled by it. And we know it's not necessarily for our domination on the field, probably more for our longevity and keeping guys involved in the game for so long. A lot of softball people here, you know what I'm talking about when I say all the fun we've had playing the games, all the fun and the memories we've had after the games, the lifelong friendships we've made with teammates and teammates' families and opponents and opponents' families. I just want to thank everyone that's played with the Strokers, Old Strokes, and Leftovers, and thank everyone that we played against. A lot of guys in the room tonight that we played against over the years. So thank you very much. And I'd like to close with the Gillette fight song. Me, 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 me. Da, 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 da,
kick my dog around. Makes no difference if he's a hound. The boys should kick my dog around. Hoo, 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 hoo. Hey! Yeah!
Thank you all.
Thank you, Quinn.
All right, guys, let's go.
That was awesome. Good job, Quinn. Oh, no, nah, that was fun. That was fun.
You know what? I need my speech. I forgot my speech in my coat pocket. 5 minutes.
His teeth.
All right, that's
You
it.
forgot your teeth.
Keep it short.
Okay, Jason, give me the Beatmasters. Give me that Beatmasters song. '21st annual No Glove National Tournament. We're going to end it here, believe it or not, after all the crazy stuff that happened tonight. Who's in the house? Everybody's in the house tonight. All 7 teams are going to party now. We're going to keep the tape rolling because we have some post-game comments. I want to thank the great Zach Mag, the great Al Mag, Ray Tops, Ron Kubicki, Jason Zenner, Mike Lord, James Opekin, and the great camera girl, we love her, Lynn Van Eaton. On behalf of the 16-inch softball hotline, come and see us, 7600 West on Harrison, and we'll have everybody there to party with you. God bless you. We're going to keep the camera rolling. Turn it up, the Beatmasters.